Welcome back to my channel, Crochet by Katie Humes. I am so excited to help you learn how to sew these pieces onto this beanie, this Beastie Beanie that we have been working on. So, I kind of left you with a little cliffhanger yesterday when I was like, I have to go get my boys from school. So, I just trimmed this. I didn't show you how to make a nose. So, we're going to do all of that today. If you want a nose, I don't know. I'll show you how I made the nose for my other one. So first of all, I'm going to place the mouth first on this guy. So I'm going to set these eyes aside. And I want to show you, this dip is not very noticeable, but it is there. I want this to be the back of my beanie. So that even though it's not too noticeable, if it gets noticed, it's in the back and we do not have to worry about it. So make sure and flip your beanie over where you don't have a seam, or if you did a different beanie pattern where you don't have a seam, your seam should be in the back, or your dip should be in the back if you crocheted in continuous rounds. Alright, now I'm using the color Macaw, and I'm not going to double up my yarn this time to sew things on. I foolishly did not leave. This was supposed to be my sew-in tail, but in my rush I just clipped it as short as all the other things. So I'm actually going to clip that a little bit shorter right now. And just, yeah, I'm going to put a little dot of glue so that it doesn't come undone. It's a little bit chilly, so I hope this comes out. There we go. Sorry to cover your view right there. Alright, that should hold that nice and secure. Now, I really want the mouth to be like right there, just right on that bottom of the beanie. So even some of these little fuzzies will be hanging off a little. Alright, so go ahead and get your yarn needle. Oh, I forgot to tell you. You will need scissors for this tutorial, and you will need a yarn needle. I have a small and large. I'm going to go with the large one right now. For the eyes, I might use the smaller one, but for the mouth, I'm going to go with the large. So go ahead and thread your yarn. And you know what? I'm just going to cut some off. So I'm going to just get kind of a long piece here. I don't know how long it is. I'm really bad at being a judge of that. It's just a pretty long piece of yarn. Actually, I think I have too much. I'm going to cut it shorter. If it all goes terrible, I have a whole ball of yarn I can cut more. Okay, so take your beanie and your mouth and insert your needle into the back of your beanie. And then just come up on, let's go right along this line right here. We'll see how that looks. I'm going to pull that until I have about 6 or 7 inches left of tail. And I'm going to insert right next to my first spot. Oh yeah, that'll be nice, nicely hidden. Alright, just continue that motion of going up through the beanie, up through that little spot. I'm going to get a close-up for you. And just go right back down so that you're catching the beanie and the mouth. One more time. So I'm going to go up right here. And I'm going to go up through and make sure that it's on this seam so that I'm not coming up anywhere else. I don't think it would matter, but I'm just going to keep it with the seam so that I don't have any loose pieces of yarn showing. I've come to the end of the circle and I've gone around once, and it's just not as secure as I would like it to be. So I'm going to change up. I'm going to leave what I've done because I want that extra security measure. But I'm going to start coming around the back. I hope you can see this. Let me make sure. Okay. I'm going to start coming around the back like this and coming through these stitches. I am also getting a lot of knot in my work. Okay. And just coming around and securing these down. So basically doing the same thing, except coming out and going this, well, not really the same thing at all. Before I was coming up and down around this circle. That's not cool. Okay. I was coming up and down. So now I'm going to be going up and around, back down into the beanie, and pull that tight. And that should, there we go. Yep. So now I'm going up the beanie, so inside of the beanie, up over through here, into that first stitch where we secured it down. Some of these fuzzies are coming loose. There we go. Just pull them tight if they're starting to come loose. They'll be okay. Push that up and pull it down. And then go back down into basically the same spot. I'm going into the same spot right now. And it's kind of going to put little knots all over. So I'll show you that one more time. I'm going up. Move these guys. Going up right there. And I'm coming around these stitches and pulling these tight as I go. Coming around and pushing it down right there. Alright, I hope that makes sense. I hope these stay as well. Alright. Like I said yesterday, you might be witnessing an epic fail. I think we'll be fine. I'm going to go ahead and keep going around like that. Oh, that's so much more secure. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go around. It was just coming loose right there, see? Already. It's not even sewed on. I mean, it's sewed on, but it's just coming loose everywhere. Okay. Stay on, little hairs. Okay. I'll meet you back in just a minute. I have just come to the end of sewing this on. I'll show you. Can hardly even see. I did a little bit of a long stretch right there. I should have been a little more careful. But you can hardly see when you keep your stitches about this close. You can't even see where you've sewed on your mouth. So that was kind of cool. And that gave it the security that I was looking for. So what we're going to do is we're going to clip our yarn. And we are going to tie these two strings together because we're ending pretty much the same spot that we started at. I am really excited with how this looks, you guys. I'm not going to lie. And it's really fun when you come up with something in your mind and then you get to see it come to life. Okay, so put your yarn strands on your needle and go ahead and sew these in. It's already tied off, so this is just for security measures and hiding the tails. So we'll go back in. Alright, now the next thing I'm going to do, I think I'm going to go back one more time just to be double sure. I've only got one of them. That's okay. Uh-oh. I try not to wear my ring when I'm working because it can catch. I haven't had that struggle with the smaller items, but it just barely caught right there. I don't think you can notice, but it catches if I'm working on a blanket or something, and it could ruin all my work. Okay, so just clip those, and now your mouth is sewed on, and I'm much happier with that security, and just doing that helped these get less loose. Like, they were super loose, especially over here. They were loose, and I don't know, loosey-goosey. I don't know why. So I might trim up these furries a little more. I'm going to be careful though, because, and I might, you know, I might actually separate these. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Brush out the yarn. I might do that. Okay, we'll save that for the end. Right now I'm going to show you how to do a nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know how long that was. I'm sorry, guys. So it's just a long string of yarn. Oh, I want them to match though. So I'm going to clip that right there. I know I'm totally wasting yarn today. Just some of these beanies I'm making with like my scraps, so I'm not too worried about it. But I know I'm wasting yarn. Alright, so I've got 2 strings about the same length now. Let's get them on the yarn needle. And I went with the same color. You could totally make a nose a different color if you want. I went ahead and went with the same color. Alright, now that you have this on your needle, all you have to do is decide what shape you want your nose. I'm going to make this nose a circle. I want his nose to be a circle. I'm just filling circles for this monster. He's circular. Alright, so I'm going to go up in that row just above, and I'm going to pull this until I have about 6 inches left. Okay? And then I'm going to go back down in. Let's go in. Let's just go 1 row. Let's keep his nose simple. So his nose can be the length of 1 row, the height of 1 row, and then we'll go into this stitch and into this stitch, back and forth. Alright. Again, just keep an eye on what's going on inside, because you don't want there to be any knots in there. Alright, that's kind of small. I'm going to go a little wider out. You know what, I'm gonna turn him this way. I really don't want to mess with those things over there. And I just went back and forth, like so, till I created a bump. A bump for his nose. So I'm going to do that one again. So continue going back and forth and across and up and down until you get a nice big bump that's the same color as the beanie. I've got my nose where I'm pretty happy with it. So you can see it's just like a little bump that's protruding a little bit. And I'm just going to, so you can build onto it and make it whatever shape you wanted. Like I felt like this side was too heavy, so then I just put a few more on that side. It's not exactly circular or round. It kind of turned into more of like an upside down house. See, here would be the top of the house. Or is that a hexagon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Hexagon. It turned into a hexagon shape. But I like how it turned out. And then these fuzzies can just, you know, kind of come up right there. Kind of like, I don't know, it's just kind of fun. Alright, so now go ahead and turn it over. And you can clip these. You don't need them anymore. And tie these off back here. And sew them in exactly how we sewed in this string, so you can't see them anymore. I'll meet you back when we're ready to attach the eyes. For the eyes, go ahead and place them where you want them so that you can kind of get a feel if you want one higher up to be crazy. I'm going to put mine right next to the nose, and I really, really like how that is turning out. What I'm going to do is hide, I'm going to start where my yarn tail is. I'm going to start it right by the mouth. Alright, so I'm just going to take my yarn tails right there. And go ahead and pin the eyes on so that you know where you want them. I did not pin the mouth on. You could have if you wanted to see exactly where it was going to end up. I guess I just wasn't that worried about where the mouth ended up because I was going to go off of that. Alright. See, I want it closer to the nose. So already I could see I didn't like that placement. So go ahead and pin them on where you want them, and I will meet you back. I'm happy with my placement right here. So what I'm going to do next, and what you could do, I'm going to sew it in, but what you could do at this point, or at any point really, go try it on your child's head and see if these things are where you want them, because when the child's head is in there, it might look different. And if you're not happy with how it looks after it's sewn on, it's a lot harder to fix it than when it's pinned on. And don't worry, these pins won't hurt the child if you have the pointy part poking out. Just make sure the pointy part is poking out, or you might stab them in the head. But really, you could go try this on their head right now and see if that's where you want it. I am happy with that placement. I love these beanies because they do not have to be perfect. They are just fun, just for fun. So basically, I wanted my eyes to be in a line with each other. On my other one, I wanted them to be crooked. So I just wanted these to be in alignment right there and touching the mouth at the same point and touching the nose at the same point. So that was why I pinned them down. And you don't have to pin them if you feel confident in your sewing and you don't. But I am just doing that because I had a certain look that I was going for. So I'm going to use the smaller needle for this one, because the eyes are a little bit smaller details and I just want to be able to get in there just a little bit easier. I have an easier time getting into the stitches with this smaller point. Usually you can get sewing needles in a pack of like 3 or 4 yarn needles, and you'll have the bigger ones and the smaller ones. So I wish I knew the exact size so I could tell you what they were. Go ahead and get your yarn onto your needle and begin by going up. If your work is down like that, begin by going up into one of the stitches. Pull it. Ooh, careful not to get those blue guys. Now, if you want to go that way, cool. If you want to go that way, cool. Whichever way you start going, just keep going the same direction. So what we're going to do is we're going to go right down behind these stitches and go along the stitch line. And I might take a white piece of yarn and go, because you see where I made a little mistake and I went too far out. Take a white piece of yarn and sew in and out right here as well to hide some of my mistakes. If that bothers you, which it does bother me. So I'm just letting you know what I will probably do off camera, which is this same technique of going right behind the stitches so that it appears to be crocheted onto the hat, even though we know that it's been sewed on. Alright, so back and forth just like so. And I will meet you back when both of my eyes are sewed on in this manner to show you how it turned out. I cannot wait to see what you come up with these designs I'm showing you and ideas. So I can't wait to see what you come up with as well. Alright, I'll meet you back in just a minute. So I have just finished both of the eyes, and I did go ahead and get a white piece of yarn and I secured that on. And I do recommend doing that because not only did it hide my little mistake right here, but it also secured the eyes down just a little extra. So I'm always for extra security measures, especially when it's a gift for a child or something that's going to get dirty that might need to go through the washing machine. So anyway, because I did that, I have some extras strings to tie in, which is totally fine, and it actually is nice because then I have some extra things to tie off too. So I'll just show you on this one over here how I'm going to tie off and hide these, because the white is going to be very apparent if you don't keep it behind the eyeball. But I'm going to tie all 3 of these together. So I want to get them as close together as possible before I go ahead and tie. So first I'll tie these 2 together in a double knot, and then I'll take one of these strings and tie it with the other one, and that will be secure enough. And then I'm just going to clip them all 3 at the same spot. I'm going to get my bigger needle here so that I can thread these a little easier. and I am literally going to do them all at the same time. The biggest thing is just, you can see your white circle, you can see where your eye is. Just stay within that circle so that you don't come out of the white area, or you will have it poking through. Okay. You'll have it poking through your blue work or green or whatever color you've chosen. Unless your monster is white. Ooh, that could be a cool monster, a white monster. That would get very dirty very fast with kids though. Gotta think about these things. Alright, so that eye is done. And you can see now I don't have any white along here. We're good. All that white is hidden behind this eye. Very awesome. Alright, so that concludes my tutorial today on how to sew these on, how to make the nose, since I left you hanging on the nose. And again, this one didn't even really need a nose, but I'm glad I did it because I wanted to show you, and I like how it turned out. I think the nose makes it a little less scary, more fun. I'm not a huge fan of scary. Let me know in the comments if you like scary movies. I cannot watch scary movies at all because I live in the country and I am terrified. I am just too scared. Like I don't like how dark it gets out here, and so I would be way too scared if I watched scary movies as well. So let me know in the comments if you like scary movies or if you're more of like fairies and fluffy like me. And so my monsters are nice monsters. They're not mean. These aren't mean. My husband, I had mentioned earlier that I had the hardest time coming up for the name for these beanies, and my husband's like, why don't you call them meanie beanies? And I'm like, I don't want them to be mean. They're monsters, but they're cute monsters. So Beastie Beanies it was. And I had also, in my very, very first clip, on the very first video I did, I called them Beastly Beanies because I wasn't sure if I was going to call them Beastie or Beastly or Monster or Meanie Beanies. So they are Beastie Beanies, and it was so hard coming up with that name. Alright, I can't wait to see your Beastie Beanie creation. And our next video will be how to make eyebrows and hair. I've also thought about adding ears. Let me know what you think about that. I think ears would be kind of fun. Maybe not on this one. He's got a lot going on already. But on my first one, I thought ears would look really cute because my first one's kind of looking a little bald. Like it has those curlies, but anyway. I hope you're having a great day today, and I hope you're staying warm. We have a huge storm rolling in. It was supposed to snow all night, but it didn't. So anyway, I will talk to you later. I hope these tips helped. If you enjoyed them, please like this video, and if you enjoy my channel, please subscribe. I will talk to you later. Bye!